Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about photography accessories and I have a feline. This is going to be a great video. Let's get this started, shall we? Here's the first. Okay. It's going to be a catastrophe, right? Anyway, let's get it started for real this time. Okay, so the first item on the list is a kneeling pad. Especially for basketball, if you shoot a lot of basketball, you'll find that those floors are really hard. Right now is gardening season, or it's gonna start anyway. You can see the stores stocking up with compost and gardening tools and whatnot. A kneeling pad, you'll find these quite frequently in those stores. It's just basically like a soft pillow that you can put on your behind, so to speak, so it doesn't hurt after a long day's shooting. If you don't have this, you can also have those mats that mechanics use for being underneath the cars, or a yoga mat. You can just cut it up and make something that you can use and sit on, basically. Okay, and now I got dirt all over. I have no idea why. Oh, because of the cats. So now the next item on the list is just a plain towel. This will be very useful. Mine even says Happy Halloween. It doesn't matter. It's a towel. You can use it to dry your gear. It helps a ton and it doesn't take much space in your bag. Next item on the list is cable ties. So cable ties, you can use them for a few things, like securing your backpack, the zips, you know, one to another so people don't open them. You can use them to tie up your GoPro to the grill of the front car, like I did for some of the videos. I mean, you can think of a lot of things that you can use these just to tighten stuff up, and then obviously cut it when you're done. But they're very handy and they don't take that much space either. And now the next item is a power bank. So if you're on long shoots, and you're far away from home, you don't have access to a charger, and you want to keep your phone charged up, this is a great way to do it. So a power bank, fully charged obviously, will be very helpful. Okay, next item on the list. Let's grab something here. Painkillers. Self-explanatory. If you had a long day shooting, you're tired, traveling, whatever, painkillers are very helpful, especially for back pain for me. So always keep them handy. I might not have them directly with me in my backpack, but I will always have them in the car at least. Next item on the list. Okay, so this is like the poor man's version of the Leatherman, right? So it's just a tool that has some pliers. It's a Swiss knife, some like a little knife, some power tools to open, and they're hard to get to now, but basically for your tripod, anything that you can screw on, and then it has some of those little extensions you can apply. I don't know if you can see them, but basically they're just different heads that you can apply to the end of this, and very helpful. Even a bottle opener, so if you want to have a little beer, there you go. This costs like €10 on Amazon, like $12, something like that. Very cheap. There's obviously more expensive and better ones, like the Leatherman. There's some that don't have the knife tools, because like this one for example, I wouldn't be able to take it in an airplane with me. But for normal games, if I need to cut the cable ties or something like that, they're very helpful. Next item on the list, double chargers. So if you have more than one camera of the same brand with the same battery type obviously, or if you have a camera with a grip, meaning you'll have two batteries, if you have two chargers, trust me, it'll be a lifesaver in terms of time, the time it takes for you to get ready for a shoot. So double battery charges will be a lifesaver. Always handy. Now the next item on the list is a photography bib. Now you can get these on Amazon, eBay, whatever. They're just plain, they say photographer in the front, photographer in the back. Now don't be that guy that steals the bibs from the photography events you attend unless you're given the bib. It's just normal, you know, decency to give them back, especially if you want to return to the place. But yeah, some events will, like the major ones will give you a bib that you hand out at the end. The very small ones don't need a bib for anything, but some of them might request that you do have a bib, but they don't give you one. So always be ready. It doesn't cost you anything to have a photographer's bib. Even on smaller events, just put it on. People will look at you and okay, this guy's here for an obvious reason to take photographs. So very obvious. If you want to go with the cheap route, you can get a high-vis vest that you should always have in your car anyway. So that should not be a problem. So the next item on the list is tape. So you've seen my video maybe of why I use tape on all my gear, so I'm not going to go over too much about it, but basically uses for all sorts of reasons to identify your equipment, or in my case, not only that, but to make sure that the rain protection covers I put on my lenses don't move too much. And then gaffer tape is always helpful for all sorts of situations in photography. Just make sure you don't get duct tape because that will leave residue when you rip it up. Gaffer tape won't. The one I use for the lenses is actually PVC tape, and it's very easy to cut even with your fingers. You don't need a knife, you just rip it up and it's really easy and very, very helpful. So PVC tape or gaffer tape. Next on the list is earplugs. Now you can use these, they cost like €1.50. In situations where just the venue you're at is so loud that you just can't concentrate or is giving you a headache, just put them on. You can also use your headphones, your cell phone headphones if you don't have these. But just make sure that no matter what, if you do put these on, that you can still hear something, because you need to be self-aware of what's going on around you, so you don't get surprises. And like the one I just had right now, my dog is barking, she wants to go outside. But yeah, earplugs, very helpful as well. So the next item on the list are remote triggers. So these are like the cheap version of the pocket wizards. I have a video about using these, or just remotes in general. For me, I use them most, or when I do use them, for football, and by football I mean soccer, obviously. But you can also use them for basketball or any sport really that you can use remote triggers on. The thing with remote triggers is that you don't know what you're gonna get until you actually see the pictures, because you'll be spamming and basically how do you say it? Spam and pray, or pray and spam, or something like that. Anyway, you don't know what you're gonna get with remote triggers, but they can be very handy. If you do nail a remote trigger shot, it's fantastic, because the point of view is something you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. But yeah, so cheap version of the pocket wizards, but very, very cool to have as well. And the next one is a 2-in-1. So if you look at these, they're just like the covers for your camera, right? And your lens, one for the lens, one for the camera. You might be aware that when you put them together, they actually clip on, right? So what you can use them for is to put SD cards, for example, if you don't have a pouch for SD cards, like I don't. A lot of people seem to like to have a card holder. In this case, I don't have SD cards here at the moment. What I do have is something I keep losing all of the time, which is the eye cup for the viewfinder. It just keeps on falling out. So I have two, one on each. They're universal for the cameras that I use, so it doesn't need to be like the brand name one. And they fit here perfectly, so I just put them on here and bingo. If I want to have extra SD cards, just use one of these, and there you go as well. If by any chance I lose the cover from one of my lenses or the camera, God forbid, then I'll have a spare as well. I will not have to take my camera or lens home with the sensor basically open. So that helps a lot. Next one is one that I use all of the time. So this tool, it folds up nicely. It's plastic. You can see it just drops. The cool thing about this one is, you see this hole here? I can just put it sideways, and my camera bag has 2 Velcro straps. I just strap it on and I just take it with me. My old camera bag was wide enough that I could just fit it in. So I think a bag which will fit like a 17-inch laptop will take this no problem. Otherwise it's not that heavy anyway. There's a handle, you can take it, and trust me, you need a stool if you're shooting football or rugby or any outdoor sports, because the kneeling pad, if the floor is wet, you're gonna get wet too. So this is very handy. There are other stools obviously, but don't go making the mistake that I did, which is go on websites like the cheap ones and buy something like this, and then you get you get home, you open it up, it's like, oh, this is a kid's version. So for an adult, especially a man, using this, trust me, it's not fun. So I've never used this one. So I keep using this one, which is much better. Next item on the list, rain covers. So recently I've switched to the Aquatech rain covers. I have one for the 7200 and another one for the 100-400. I still have some of the Uptech ones which are like disposable. I have a video on these and on the Alta by Vanguard rain covers, but if you're starting out, you just need something in a rush. These are very cheap. They do the job just fine. But if you want something a little bit more durable but still on a budget side, the Alta rain covers by Vanguard are a good option as well. Okay, so one more, let's check it out. What is it? Okay, so Velcro strips. So you can buy these again for very cheap. If you check my laptop here, there's a Velcro on, there's a Velcro here on the back, and on my dongle here to connect the SD cards and whatnot, there's another one. So I can easily open my laptop if I need to be on pitch side with it. Connect this here, this side, connect Velcro, and there you go. So it doesn't move, it's not dangling anywhere. So Velcro strips, very handy, and they cost you like €1.50 for 2 or something like that. They're very cheap and very helpful as well. Is the rocket blower. So this is by Photo R. It could be by anyone, I really don't care. Basically you just use it to blow air in the sensor of your lens or your camera to remove any dust that's there. You've probably seen these. If you want to just have a quick clean when you're changing lenses constantly, it helps a lot. So rocket blower doesn't take that much space in your bag, and it's very helpful. And one final item here, which is, well, I can't show you right now because basically these are 2 AAA batteries rolled up in duct tape. You just put it underneath your camera at the front and it creates an angle. For remote cameras, it's very handy. It's like the poor man's tripod, right? And speaking of tripods, that's the last accessory I was going to talk to you about, is the Petco tripod. I also have a video about this in my channel, and it's currently holding this camera. So I'm going to switch to the other one now here. You can see I've used this for my vlogs and whatnot. It folds up nicely so I can continue vlogging. Let me just switch this here. So I can hold it like this, you can see, and just vlog away, which I've done in the past. There's a Velcro strap here. Very nice and very strong. So I just put it around the pole or something, right? And I strap it and it stays in place, and there you go. Now, bear in mind, if you're using this with a long lens, you need to be careful that you won't just fall off. Make sure you secure it easy, either by using like cable ties like we talked about, or something stronger. But for just a small lens and something like that, it's very, very handy. For vlogging, it helps a lot. You can use it for time lapses as well. I mean, check out the video I have, and you'll see why it's useful. So let's see if this is a good angle. So I think that's it. There's probably another accessory that I should show you, but I don't have one, which is a camera strap. So the most famous one, I guess, is by Black Rapid. Those are very, very expensive, but they're very good. If you want to walk around with one of the lenses next to you while you're holding another one, if you need to switch, you just grab it and you pull it up to your eye, take pictures, you can let go and it just falls back into place. I don't use it because, to be fair, I haven't had much use. Usually I'm sitting down and my 7200 is right in front of me, so when the action comes close, I just put down the long lens and pick up the other one, and it's fine. I haven't had the need for it, especially because it's a bit expensive for a strap like the Sports Breathe version, which is like the one that has the little thing under the armpits, like 75 euro, something like that. So for a strap, that's a bit. There are cheaper versions, yes, but in that kind of thing, I don't know, you want to buy them cheap or not, or if you want to buy like the proper brand. From what I've read, the Black Rapid is expensive, but the quality is there. One more I forgot, which is obviously the monopod. Now I cannot show you the monopod because it's currently sitting on the tripod on this camera, but if you've seen the videos where I talk about my gear, I mention the tripod quite often. Another trick you can do is you can use tape that's used for like tennis rackets or baseball bats or something like that to put around the tripod, the monopod at the top, so you can get a better grip. And yeah, that's it. So which accessories did you find more interesting? Do you have any other ideas that I didn't think of, that I didn't talk about? I'm always interested in learning more, so if you have any more cool accessories, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that thumbs up, it helps a lot. And if you loved it, subscribe. And if you want to see more videos, just wait for the video to finish and I'll link a few there. Some of the accessories I talked about, and check the description below. I'll also mention some of those. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get this video started, shall we? Here's the first one. Okay, that's not an accessory I was gonna show you, but let's go to the next one, shall we?